Yes, the US is $31 trillion in debt. And people look at this US debt chart and they think we've never done anything like this before. But you need to look at our debt as a percentage of the size of our economy, which is called the GDP. Our debt to GDP is about 117%, a little bit lower than it was when it was World War II. As you can see, when the US debt to GDP gets to a historical high, it starts to drop. And look what's happening. It's actually dropping. But let's go deeper. When most people hear that the US is in debt, they're imagining the US going from country to country saying, hey, can I borrow some money? Or maybe they picture the US getting some kind of credit card, trying to put it in the ATM, like, why is it not working? No, that's not what happens. US debt is mainly composed of treasuries. And US treasuries are the safest investment assets on Earth. Because treasuries are the most safe and trusted assets on the Earth, they have the lowest interest rates. And the US does not push the sale of these treasuries. Other countries, institutions, and individuals go out and buy them. Now let's go to the two main sectors that have all of these treasuries. There's intergovernmental holdings, so that's within the US government, like Social Security and other federal pension plans. And then there's debt held by the public, which could be anyone in America, anyone in the world. 2023, about $7 trillion of US treasuries are held by other governmental institutions. And everyone else has about $25 trillion. About $7.5 trillion of those US treasuries, which you call debt, are held by dozens of countries. The UK has about 650 billion, China has about 870 billion, Japan has about $1.1 trillion of US treasuries. These countries are not holding this debt as a favor to the US. They're holding onto these securities because they are the safest assets on Earth. And the same goes for the other $18 trillion to the US private institutions and individuals. You are an investor and you see that a firm that you're thinking of investing in is holding on to US treasuries, which is the most safe and secure asset in the world. Maybe, just maybe, that's actually a positive thing. If you know that your bank is holding on to millions of dollars of US treasuries, doesn't that make you feel a little better, even though it's also called debt? $32 trillion in total debt does suck for an economy, but it's also a huge testament to how trusted United States debt is. No one on earth thinks that the US will default on its debt. And there's a very old saying, if US treasuries start to fail, you don't need gold, you need guns, food, and water.